on this braking zone on the corner exit. If you take too much and go too far out there over that line, you can also validate your lap time there, as that isn't going to happen on Villeneuve's Outback. As here we go, round the final corner he goes, just a little flip, and here we go. Towards turn 1, DRS deployed. Into turn 1, down to 4th gear, keep it nice and tight, make sure you're as far over that curb as you can, and then on the exit of turn 2 you want to really use a little bit of ERS, which he does, and then get as far over as you can to cut in for turn 3. Little snap of oversteer on the exit there, unfortunately for him, as now here comes Vilven. It is going to be a 26.977 as this RB will need to get out of the way there. Didn't quite look like Vilven quite got those previous 2 braking zones dead perfect how he would have wanted to, as there we are, this RB is going to get out of his way. And that is the dead perfect line. You want to take as much curb as you can there, not too much on that right hander because it can lead to a big time scrub. And then just nip it in for the bridge section, and then you power down, ERS, drain down to 60 or so %, flick it in, and then on the ERS all the way to the end of this straight. This is probably the part where you want to be using quite a good bit. There's now Vilven, right, left, perfect stuff, using his ERS. Round the final corner he goes, and up to the line is going to be a 1:30.065. It's a 1:31.0 there, as Kwame has left the session. On board with Burger Boy now. Driver with a bit of pace about him. What has he got? What has he done in the middle sector? Little snap of oversteer on the exit there, and is a 1:03.6 purple to the middle sector for Burger Boy, taking a really good amount of curb. He took the perfect amount so his car didn't bottom out. I mean, I did a league race around Singapore here not too long ago, and the pole time was relatively quick, so I'm going to find out what it was for you. That's up to live Burger Boy, a 1:28.335. That is through this bit. Oh, and taking his name quite literally and having a half spin, Mazu spin, and goes in to a Mazu lineup of the session. Can he get anywhere close to pole position? And he's invalidated. Unfortunately for him, what about Reese PTFC, who is just behind him on track, and who is going to move out of his way, which is going to help Reese out. He's going to have a clear track, and that's a 26.895. Flicking it in for this left-hander. Doesn't take as much curb as we've seen other drivers in this session do. But still keeping it clean, and that is the most important thing, you know. Hooking a lap up 100% around Singapore is one of the most difficult things one can do. Currently it is sticking pretty okay for Reese. Round the final corner he goes. Up to the line, it's going to be a 1:29.6 on the Xbox. What has he got? Now out of the middle sector, he comes into the final sector. A sector with only 4 corners. Technically, only 2 braking zones, 3 braking zones technically. I don't know if you really call that a braking zone, because it's not really as that's a 129, 164 for Alex, putting him in P6 briefly, but moves down to 7 after, who was it that, I think it was Laser Gun, no it wasn't Laser Gun, Power Twan, it was Power Twan who put that lap time in there to go provisionally into second place, as Burgerboy has just started his final attempt of the session, and we will watch him for it. We will watch him every single step of the way. As I actually didn't see how much time Burgerboy gained, but it was about, yeah, a tenth and a half, so... Oh, I've just pulled my headphones out, whoopsies. Lost about 700ths of a second on his previous best in that middle sector, of course. Was not able to complete the lap due to losing so much time, so Aston Martin teammate will get out of the way for him. And this RB better get out of the way pretty quick, which he does, luckily. Second to split, 2.5 tenths up. This is looking a bit better for Burgerboy if he can hook it all up. But currently, it's not enough. He needs another 10th or so in order to clinch pole position. As now, round the final corner, he is going to come. Is it going to be pole position for Burgerboy? Yes, it is. A 1:27.897. Wow, did he find time? What about Infinity Candy Floss? Has he found anything at the last here, up to the line? No, here you go. There's 4, there's 5. And the action's underway here at Singapore. It's a good start from Burgerboy, who blasts away through P1, and he is going to take first place into the first corner, but Infinity Candy Floss has managed to maintain his P2 as well, as further back there's chaos going on. Alex, there's a little bit of a tussle between an Aston Martin of Pablo and the 2 Alpines, which I think has now been resolved, but Mazepin has lost plenty of positions, as has Benjamin. What on earth has happened to Ben? As we will flick down, can't quite see, but he has lost an abundance of positions, as that is Infinity Candy Floss going off track. Further back, Mazepin spins. He's losing places and he gets damage. He gets damage. He hits the back of the Haas of Reese and ends up with end plate damage between Hugo and Power Twan. Round the outside goes Power Twan, forces Hugo a little bit onto the curb there, but they just about managed to keep it side by side without taking each other out. And now Power Twan is going to have the inside line and he's going to have to see position. Sorry, Hugo's going to see position to Power Twan. So up to P5 goes the Red Bull. It's going to be late. It's going to be really late for Infinity. And there we are. He's gone. And it has caused absolute carnage behind him. The McLaren of Fizzy Gaming down the inside on the Aston Martin of Burgerboy. Burgerboy's just going to leave him enough space. Slight tap doesn't quite allow him the move there, unfortunately. That is Benjamin having a massive wobble. And it's going to drop behind the RB of Alex, unfortunately for him. But there we are. As Power Twan on the outside, getting forced out a little bit by Renz there. Oh, I didn't realise my audio was on. So you might have just heard me twice. As Infinity Candy Floss has broken his tyre. He was on those softs, trying to work away through the pack. Is he going to go for it? No, he's not, and he gets hit up the butt. I'm not too sure by who. It would be the Alpine of Laser Gun that whacked him up the butt. The Williams hits the wall, and it's a free wide there, and you don't want to do that, because that happens, and the Alpine loses its wing, the Williams loses its wing, and now we're back under. So those that went onto softs might have been a clever gamble. I, of course, did not know it was going to rain in this race. So when I was talking about what people should do in that, under the last safety car, I was like, just talking generally because as if it was going to stay dry. But of course it's not. It's too early to go to intermediates, in my opinion. So Renz, this is too early, mate. I say with how heavy the rain is, it's going to be about 3 laps before it gets wet. Maybe 2. 2.5 or so. So if you stayed out on dries, maybe you're fine. If you went to dries, maybe you were fine. As everybody bundles in now for dry tyres again. That is so weird. Medium tyres on the cart for Alex. Mediums for Fizzy Gaming. Mediums for Kime Fuel. Hards for Elite Silver. Hards for Power to One. And I think looking at the track, it's dry once again. Or coming up to it. That dried stupidly quick. There's now Jens pits as well. Kwame pits. Lasergun pits. Reese pits. Everybody into the pit lane. I've got to say now, if you'd have braved those conditions on those dries, maybe you would have been fine. Maybe. Because it didn't get... It was only into conditions, I'd say, for about half a lap, if that. Now here comes Fizzy. Just enough space left by Jens. Down the inside he goes. The Haas tries to keep it round the outside. A little bit of contact. They lean on each other. And the Haas of Jens does manage to keep the position Fizzy needs to get past, and get past quickly, because he has that penalty, of course, that Jens does not. Whilst we're on the topic, let's have a little look at penalties. So Fizzy's got 6. Kwame has 3. And then Kime Fuel has 3, Elite Silver 3, and then Mazza Spins has 6. Oh, that's a big clack of the wall for Alex. Is that going to be damage? And Power to One is gaining quite significantly. So if he gets damage, that could be his race win. Coming fast right behind him. And he is gaining. Those mediums are indeed going off now. And Power to One is now inside DRS of the RB. The two sister teams will be racing for this win. And if this were real life, I think there'd be some orders. There'd be, you know, let the Red Bull buy and all this and that. But of course, since this is a video game, we have none of that. These drivers turn up here for one reason: to win. And I mean, if you're not turning up to win, then what are you doing? With Power to One. Down to third gear, not quite able to gain enough on the DRS zone, and that has kind of been the story of the race. Fizzy has had the exact same issue, and now it's Power Twan having that issue as well. DRS deployed once again. And now here we go, he's going to get a run into the final corner. There's a little touch. Down the inside goes the Rebel. The RB will keep it there, and we, whoops, lost the camera angle. And the Rebel has got past Power Twan into the race lead. Crazily close to that pole position, which was of course set by Infinity Candyfloss. No, it wasn't. It was set by Burger Boy. Excuse me. It was Burger Boy that set it. And he is slowing down. Why? Oh, he's run out of fuel. He's run out of fuel. So out of absolutely nowhere, Alex is going to win this race because he had fuel left. Power Twan is going to lose so many positions. Oh, no, he's not. What?